Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for a brand new video here on the channel. We are back once again in the speed demon that is the Mercedes W12 Formula 1 car with another quali comparison lap this time around the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. Once again with me on the left hand side, and on the right hand side this time, Zero Forks giving legend and Jetta Cup pole sitter Martin Wallace. The time's a little bit closer this time round, both with a 109.4 with only a couple hundredths separating the two lap times. So let's get started analysing these laps. So you can see here we're coming down the main straight, the curvy straight down into Lagos. We're going to get over to the right hand side for the S section of turns 1 and 2. If I slow it down from here, you can see already a difference at the 150 metre board. Wallace on the right starts to turn in already, moving away from that white line as we enter the braking zone, taking a shallower entry and getting ready to mount the curb already as the wall ends on the left, with Johns opening up the corner slightly more. But if we pause it here at the apex point, they reach it pretty much at the same time and at the same speed, and it looks like actually Wallace has got it stopped enough to open up the right-hander of turn 2. But if you watch this little bit after the apex, so we may have entered at the same speed, but look at the exit speed. Wallace loses 10 kilometers an hour as he scrubs off more speed as he took a shallower angle in, and then Johns is already accelerating for the right-hander of turn 2. You can see here though, on the exit, Johns carrying extra speed to the white line, is now half a car length ahead through this complex of corners, and it's pretty much flat out now through the rest of the exit, even though the speed was pretty much matched at that second apex. You can see here the line's very similar, right out to the right hand side, flat out all the way down this straight. Maybe Johns on the left a little bit faster down the straight because of the way he took that corner, but if we pause it here, is now a full car length ahead if you compare it to that road on the right hand side, with the speeds pretty even into these two left-handers. Very similar lines here. Johns tighter to the apex there. Martin going right out to the right-hand side. If we pause it here, Johns now a car and a half ahead, looking at that road on the left as a comparison, with 4 extra kilometers an hour. If we slow down this section, though, this is where Martin starts to claw it back. They enter this corner. Johns going down to 5th gear, while Martin only goes down to 6th. Johns using 5th to get that extra turn in, holds it tight to the curve. They both take very similar lines into this corner, but Johns actually scrubbed off a lot more speed using that 5th. He uses all the curb on the exit to really open up this tight hairpin type corner, this right-hander coming up, and you can see you already start turning in. They both go down to 2nd. Martin carrying more speed on the entry yet again, just like turn 1, and at the apex point carrying similar speeds, but on the exit once again, Johns carrying more speed, but going right out to that white line where the yellow and green lines are. That gives Johns a shallower entry into this left-hander, holding it tight to the line, and that allows Wallace to carry an extra 10 kilometers an hour all the way through the midpoint of this corner. Really well done, but here's another key, crucial moment for Johns on the left. He exits in 3rd gear, whereas Martin kept it in 2nd, and then that gives Johns a little bit of extra traction and gains a lot more speed on the exit in that traction zone. If we compare it here though, Martin has closed a full car length, is now less than half a car length back, and pretty even as we enter this next final sector of the circuit. So we're climbing up the hill for a tight right-hander. In towards this right-hander they go. Again, pretty even speeds, both in 2nd gear. Johns hitting the apex more than Martin, and Martin going right out to the curb on the exit, with Johns holding the car in the middle of the circuit and again carrying more speed on exit. And it's allowed Johns to really open up this left-hander, which is flat out for both drivers, but Johns carrying more speed down that hill as they go in similar gearing. Now here, Johns is now a car length ahead once again, but this is where things change. So you can see the extra speed that Johns has, but in this braking zone, in a weak attempt for Johns to keep the lap that he's got, he clearly brakes early and takes a cautious approach into this final corner. Really opens up the corner more than Martin does on the right, but look at the speed difference that Martin carried in towards. He even hits the apex more than Johns did as they understeer on the exit, but once again, with that slow in, fast out philosophy, Johns carries more speed on the exit than Wallace does, even though Wallace was slightly ahead into that braking zone, but he's really clawed it back in that final sector. But now they climb up the hill with Johns just a slight kilometre an hour ahead as they climb up. We pause it on the line. This is the difference that 200ths makes. You can both see the finish line at the same time, really even, and Wallace nearly clinching that pole position from Johns on the left-hand side, but very close qualifying between the two drivers around this Interlagos Brazilian circuit. It's a great circuit to drive in this car. Hopefully you enjoyed this video once again. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll plan on doing a couple more of these in the future, as they are really fun to make, and I enjoy watching these sorts of analysis between two different drivers and see their different approaches. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace!